The prices in Houston, Texas, for those of us that have been here for a long time, we see appreciation. We see rising property values and rising prices. But for the normal individual moving into our community, they still consider the value in Houston, Texas to be a great deal. If you're relocating from the West Coast, the East Coast, or overseas, and you live in a major metropolitan area there, you would be experiencing price per square foot at $1,000 a square foot, or $2,000 a square foot, or $2,500 a square foot, like Manhattan or LA might be. Houston, Texas, is the fourth largest city in America, has really averaged around $200 a foot. When we go from $200 a foot to $250 a foot, we see that as a 25% increase and think that's pretty hefty. The buyer coming in thinks it's a bargain. So there's a paradigm shift in our industry. I think we're going to see higher prices than we historically have had, and I don't really think it's going to be a bust. I think the new norm will be prices greater than they used to be. There's escalating land prices. The cost of labor, the cost of construction, the cost of the materials are all rising, and I don't foresee them going down anytime in the near future. We're going to have to get used to higher home prices than we historically have had. What happens is the inner city is also more desirable than ever. So we have the stress of people wanting to move into the city from other cities, but we also have people moving into the city from the suburbs. Individuals who would have been slightly older than they would have been 15 or 20 years ago. Perhaps the 50-year-olds or the 60-year-olds now want to live in inner city Houston and be close to art, architecture, and restaurants that they wouldn't have considered when their children were younger. This generation of people, because they've lived in bigger houses and are past their career, often have cash. And the young people in the marketplace today inside the Loop are competing with their parents. It's created a new norm over here that there's a new buyer, and it's the suburbs moving inside the Loop. And it's created a different paradigm shift with regards to pricing. People are willing to pay more for less square footage for quality of life. The more people we add to Houston, Texas, the more traffic we add to the interstate system and to the highways. And the commutes that were averaging 30 minutes to an hour are soon going to be averaging an hour to 2 hours. 2 hours on an interstate, commuting 30 minutes to a suburb, creates a buyer inside the Loop that's willing to pay more for less.